this is Dragon Veos. I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. And this time around, I'm going to talk about Loona in Helluva Boss and her character arc in the 2 seasons of Helluva Boss alone. I'm going to discuss of how far she has come from being this apathetic loner into basically a team player. However, there will be some spoilers in this, so please be on the lookout for that. So without further ado, let's begin. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe of how Luna's character was throughout of season 1. She wasn't much of someone to interact with others. She would mostly just be dealing with her phone the majority of the time and rarely listen to what Blitz had to say. And the only time she was really active was around episode 3, 7, and 8. In episode 3, Spring Breakers, this is where she encounters Vortex for the first time. And she seems to show a softer side, and that she's a bit socially awkward and a little self-conscious of what people have to say. Though her encounter with Vortex seemed to improve a little bit of her confidence, as well as just having some admiration for the fact that she can voice her own opinions, even if it was a bit extreme, especially when it came to Blitz trying to take care of her as well. And it was also where we get to see that she has a tendency of being rude to Moxie. While some of the explanation is a little uncertain, though it could be hinting towards the authority figure deal, she definitely showed more capabilities in episode 7, Truth Seekers, where she was showing up how she's more competent than we can give her some credit for. Not only just because she can handle holding onto the grimoire and keeping it safe, but she also shows that she can fight. And man, did she really wipe the floor with those agents. Ooh. And finally, in episode 8, this is where we get to see more of her softer side of her character. She was a bit more withdrawn and introverted, and it seemed that she had a unwanted reputation when she drinks too much at parties, and is labeled as the lunatic by the other hellhounds. Because of that, she just feels shut down, unable to really come in and want to play until Blitz goes to pick her up, and she kind of uses him to get over her anxiety, especially when she met up with B and just felt more ashamed about herself because B was the opposite of her. Fun, friendly, more open to people than she was. However, her encounter with B felt like in some ways it allowed her to have some value in herself and not feel ashamed from it. And I do hope we get to see more of that in season 3, the interaction between B and Loona, and see if that would help with Loona's character a bit more. However, putting that aside, we definitely see that she is more caring to Blitz when B and Vortex finally bring up the fact that he's starting to get a little bit out of control, like really dangerously depressed out of control. Which, while it seems fine now, it could be potentially causing harm to others and might make Blitz wind up in the hospital. Thankfully, Loona managed to get him out of there long enough for him to just puke his stuff out. And by that point, this is where it starts to change in their relationship when Loona finally learns that poor Blitz has a certain breaking point and starts to feel a bit bad for him. By season 2, there's a bit of a glow up to her character. In episode 2, we learned that the reason why she has such a bad attitude and harsh towards everyone, including Moxie, is mostly because she hasn't had a good childhood. Apparently, Hellhounds had this foster care system where she was always being passed off as a slave or some sort of tool. Yeah, like just when you thought the life of an imp was bad, try being a hellhound. As a result, this caused her to be immediately shot down and withdrawn, lashing at anyone who got too close and rejecting their love. Blitz, as some fans have pointed out, sees himself in her and goes as far as trying to make sure she's never alone, and it is rewarded later on in the series. And of course, as the season progressed, she started to become a bit more of a team player, going as far as helping Moxie get out of the funk he was in throughout a whole freaking night, going as far as helping Blitz with his breakup phase, and then, of course, going as far as allowing Stolas one of her shirts just after the aftermath of Mastermind, and showing affection towards Blitz, and even going as far as calling him Dad. Yeah, that's huge. She went from saying Blitz's name to actually calling him Dad. That shows of how much connection that she had with this guy. And also, she wasn't even the least bit upset when Stolas took on her reception role, and even she wanted to get out into the field a bit more. Even one YouTuber, going by the name of Finn the Pony, went as far as pointing out that she's a bit more social, having friends that actually came over for the Sinsmas party and talking up a storm about the poodle, I'm pretty sure she's referring to from a party, Vicky. And so it shows that once again, she managed to get through all of the pain and such. I feel like in season 3, she's gonna be more active in her roles, going from someone behind the scenes and summoning them back to being an actual heavy hitter and being the tooth and things, especially with her ability. And I'd like to see more of her interactions with Moxie because so far they haven't had much interaction at that point. So I want to see if how much is blossomed between the two. So, what do you guys think of a glow up of Luna's? Do you think there could have been more to be done with it? Or do you feel like what's going to happen in season 3 might help? Just do a like and subscribe. This is Dragon Videos signing off.